All right, hello everyone. It's April the 7th, and this is John Gunter here with UT Extension here in Fentress County. Been moving some bees today, and I do get a lot of questions about swarms. This swarm here is about 7 feet off the ground, so it's the ideal. If it gets up higher than that much, I don't get them, but you can see some hives over here that we've been moving in and out, and then I've got several hives up at the top of the hill over here. And just happened to catch these out of the corner of my eye. Me and my wife was walking around out here in the field. So odds are she's in there. And so what I'm going to try to do, and that's the key when you're talking about catching a swarm, that's just a natural thing that the bees do. We have to make sure that she's in here, because if she's not in here, when I put them in this box, then they'll go right back to wherever she is. So what's going to happen is I'll try to shake them off into this plastic top, and then let them ease down into some frames that are already drawn out. And what I'll do when I get them where I'm going to stick them, I'll take and put a few frames of brood in there to hold them to it. Usually if you'll put brood in there, that helps those nurse bees to realize, hey, we're supposed to stay here, and we're supposed to stay here with this brood, keep it warm. And by that time, the queen, if she's not mated, she may go back out and then come back in, and we'll get hopefully a good take. And so I know that these bees have came off of one of our hygienic queens. So this is a good situation to get bees, and I'll try to use some smoke to confuse them. I think that's one thing a lot of people don't realize. You can move bees fairly close to each other if you just get to the place to where you can confuse them and make them think that maybe they're a lot further away than they were. And so what'll happen when I do this, when I try to shake them in there, they're going to go, there'll be a lot of movement and things like that. Hopefully we can get her in. If she goes in the box, everybody else will go in the box as well. It's really self-explanatory once you see what goes on. So I'm going to leave the smoke down here because I don't want to cause them much aggravation, but when I scoop them down to start with and hopefully start to get them in that box, then I'll try to cover them a little bit. And you might want to back up just a little bit. A lot of times on a branch, I would try my best to shake them out. Ideally, on a little small, I'm hoping she's in there, and I want to kind of introduce them in there, and hopefully they'll find their way in there, and just try to get a little bit more at a time. And if, we're fixing to start making queens, so technically, and that's not a big swarm, that's a decent sized swarm. Not a big swarm by any means. I've seen them quite a bit larger than that. But it's very, we're trying to be as hopeful as we can that we get her. If we get her down in here, then we don't have to really worry about the rest of the deal. Because wherever she is, that's where they're going to be at. So, I don't know how this is going to work. If I knew, I would be able to tell you a lot easier. But I'm trying to be as delicate as possible. Because like I say, she could be very, very centered in this. So what I'll do is kind of shake them down, and of course, what they do before they swarm, they've got plenty of honey stores, and they also, on their wax glands, on the scales of their wax glands, they'll have quite a bit of wax buildup, so they're ready to go somewhere and build wax and foundation really quickly. So I don't know, you probably can't tell a whole lot from where you are, but they're acclimating in there. You see it? They don't act like they're trying to get out. So it's our hope that she's in there. Now, if I put a few frames of brood in here with her, that's going to reinforce the fact that, hey, everybody, we're back on normal schedule. Here's our brood. Here's where we're supposed to be. So you can tell they are directing right now. Trying to see if she might be around here close. I think, maybe a couple more shakes. You can tell they really mobbed the frames here. And what you can do sometimes is when you get them out like this, and you can see, we know they've swarmed because we can see drones. You can see a drone right here. All these are worker bees, obviously. Notice the very first thing they're doing is they're inspecting. Hey, this is a pretty good place to be. Wax is already here. This is nice. If she's in there, then we're going to have at it. So what sometimes I can do, just give them a little bit of a tap. Oh, hey, there's some, yeah. See here, oh, we're all on this wax. And that's what you want them to do, is be content. You can even leave them there for a period of time. Yeah, I think you can, you can pretty much get them all at one lick. If she's in there before too long, these guys will realize that, and they'll head right in here as well. So, then what I'll do, like I say, here again, catching the swarm, make sure we get as much as we can. If it's really high, you can take a bucket. I've done telescopes and just shake them real quick, especially for a big swarm. But the big thing is obviously getting the queen in there. If you get her, everybody else is going to go in there. And it's usually, like I say, it's usually not a problem. Once you get her in, everybody else is probably going to stay around. So their main focus right now, they're engorged with food and wax. So they're just looking for a place to be. And it just so happened I had some bean sticks laying on the corner of a fence post here and got lucky to catch this one maybe. So if you have any questions, why, just give us a call or whatever you do on the Facebooks. Have a great day. Thank you for listening.